Spirit Box. Welcome, guys, to another episode. Woo! So, I'm back again here with my friend William, the agave master, spirit specialist. He has his title.
That's fancy sounding.
Well, you are fancy.
Only on Tuesdays, and today is not Tuesday.
We're here, guys, to do another spirit review and tasting and everything. These are pretty rare things that you can't find in the States. Mr. William brought them straight from Mexico, my land. So I'm excited to try them because I have never tried this. What can you tell us about this, Will?
Yeah, well, I think, so you can get this in the States.
Yeah.
I brought it back with me from Mexico. You can get this in the States. This I don't think you can get in the States anymore. There was a small period of time, so if you find some like smaller stores, like little mom and pop shop liquor stores, you may see a bottle, but this is not around anymore. And then this guy right here, you will not find in the United States. It's only available in Mexico from Casa Herradura, and it's absolutely phenomenal. What do you want to talk about first?
I mean, you're the master of Herradura tequilas and knowledge, so
let's start with the Herraduras, and then we'll move into Cascaween. But what's super crazy about both of these that are very interesting is Antigua has got a kind of cool story behind it. The idea behind this tequila is it's been around for a very long time. I think 1927 is when we started producing this one. It was reserved for friends and family of the distillery only.
Okay.
So you only drank this at the distillery with the family if you were that cool.
Special.
Yeah, if you were that cool. VIP, exactly.
Cool kid.
And then, so if you're in Mexico, you'll see a silver or a blanco. You'll see a reposado, and you'll see a cristalino. There may also be an añejo, but there's definitely a cristalino, a reposado, and a blanco. Rob and I both we love blancos, don't we?
Yeah, because we both think that's how you try their expression at its purest form, without being altered by a barrel. That's a true expression of a tequila.
I agree.
I think the barrel aspect of it just adds other nuances and is for other purposes. But I think blancos are meant to be enjoyed, you know. Yeah, tequila is meant to be enjoyed like that.
I agree. They're super beautiful and a true expression of the distiller who makes them.
Yeah.
You'll notice this is at 40%, 80 proof. We're at a 46% here.
Oh, nice.
And 42 here. But this is interesting. So almost everything you drink from Tequila Herradura will be about 40% alcohol.
Yeah.
Besides like Directo, right? But
of course.
And pretty much everything's 40%.
Maybe we should show them a little bit later the Directo de Alambique too.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, let's do that. That's fun. That's a fun percentage. It's a little higher proof. It gives us a little more oomph to it. So why don't we start here and build up to that, and then we'll finish off with talking a little bit about Cascaween.
Start with the nice one.
Yeah, Antigua. So I just think that's pretty cool that they, were making enough different blancos and juices at the Casa that they were like, this one's going to be reserved for friends and family.
That's really
Which is just like super cool. This brand's been around since 1870, so, they've been doing this for a really long time. They are sort of at one of the forefront brands as far as like shaping the industry and tequila over time. So when you get to taste their different expressions, you get to taste different parts of the history of tequila, which is really cool. You
can smell a lot of the fermentation, the funk, like the yeast.
Yeah, it is very
useful. Very bready.
Totally bready. I like that. Yeah, very bready. Quite vegetal as well. Mm-hmm. For me, it's like a lot of like bell pepper.
Hold on, man. This damn. I've been struggling a lot with this sinus thing going on. So fruity.
Yeah.
Very fruity, like you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got some nice. It's got that classic Herradura black pepper, right?
Yes.
That lowland volcanic soil effect,
and the vanilla.
But that fruitiness is
not exaggerated artificial vanilla like
exactly
people like Clase Azul do.
Yeah.
Don't drink that, please. But and the minerality you mentioned, all the pepper. so nice. It goes down so deliciously.
Does.
Yes.
And it's almost, what I really like about it is it's like a sandwich. Each layer is different, but there's always, the bread for me is like always going to be mixed in, right? So you have like, it's almost like a sandwich with bread in the middle as well. You taste fruit, then you taste that yeastiness. You taste black pepper, then you taste that yeastiness. You taste something else, and it always finishes with that.
I love that funkiness that the yeast brings to, like, some people call it bready. I mean, it's bread, but I call it like a little bit funky.
Right.
It makes it.
I like that because what's really special about fermentation is, I mean, that's how we make an alcoholic, right?
Of course.
Yeah, so we have to ferment to make it turn into alcohol. But what's really cool about what they're doing over here at this distillery is they use open air natural fermentation, right? And they've been using the same like general strain and process for over 150 years. So there's, within like a radius around the distillery, there's like 16 varieties of citrus trees growing everywhere.
Okay.
And those citrus trees naturally have yeast on them. You can't smell it, taste it, hear it, or any of that, right?
I mean, they end up forming the profile of the.
They do. They have such a big influence, right?
Yeah.
So when you see that, like, so many, distillers across any spirit category, they just like, if they're just taking regular old yeast and dumping it in, it's like, man, this is a step that you could do something really cool with. So they don't even touch the fermentation tanks at Herradura. They just simply, it's a big open barn, like no doors on it.
Yeah,
and the yeast just attacks it, right? So you don't even have to do anything. It just does it on its own. It's like a fingerprint. There's that yeast strain is unique to the brand,
to the territory, the area.
The area, yeah, and therefore because this is the this distillery is right there. It's in itself unique to the distillery.
I wonder if a long time with the climate moving around, like air stuff, it kind of changes continuously. I wonder if there's
that's really good. Like even seasonally, that's a really good question.
So you think that seasons changing and hurricanes, the stuff, and like the weather and the how you can bring things from across the pond and stuff like that,
Right. That's a very good point because it's in the valley, right? So at least this part of Jalisco is. Because when we look at Mexico
in the Pacific,
we see Jalisco as like the main area for tequila. When we dial in, there's the El Valle and Los Altos. We go into El Valle, and then bam, you've got this distillery. So in that valley, I could see the weather sending things,
different things from
like a bowl, moving it around.
That would be a good analysis thing for to as a distiller, maybe.
Steel.
You want to go to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yes.
That was delicious.
So this one is this one comes at a little bit higher proof, 46.
Fresh bottle.
Oh, fresh bottle. I was like, what happened? Like, what did I break? What did I break? Looks amazing.
And I noticed in Mexico, all the bottles come with like a built-in pour spout, which is like really smart though.
It is smart in a sense, but a nightmare for bartenders.
Okay, tell us why that is.
Well, because this is not an accurate spout at all, as the ones that we bartenders use, where you can count, and so this is just like the bartending at home count, like.
Yeah. I think this is 2 ounces.
Yeah,
Half a bottle's gone.
It's a cool concept.
Yeah.
But if they made some, and you can remove it, but it's like you have to use a knife, and it's like a little bit dangerous.
Let's not do that.
But it's a cool concept.
It is.
There's some bottles here that this is even yeast.
Totally different on the nose though, isn't it? This smells like you just walked past the fermentation.
Yeah, like literally.
This is what
even more yeasty and bready and
totally. When you visit the distillery, this is what you are smelling everywhere you go when you're there. Whether you're in like near the barrel houses or the cooking area or the anywhere inside the distillery, this smell is just in the air.
Oh my god, but it's so good.
Yeah, it's the best.
Beautiful.
It's the best. This is probably my favorite thing from Casa Herradura.
I feel so special that I'm trying this, like these expressions of Herradura. Yeah, I'm so ready to go in there.
Instant spice.
Yes, I was about to say. I think the high proof makes that spice shine more, like the pepper.
But does it disappear for you? Like you get that spice hit and then it goes.
And then it dissipates a little bit, but it still lingers in some way.
Which is good because it allows other flavors to come forward.
Yeah, exactly. Which I feel like it brings a lot more different kinds of peppercorn. Like there's the different
point,
maple. Yeah, like I can taste the white pepper, the pink, like kind of like pinkish peppers and stuff like.
So for you, for someone at home, if they want to get into like really being able to pull those flavor notes like you just described out, is there any tricks that you recommend for someone to prepare their palate to do so?
Well, for me, it all came because you know how many you ask people and you see videos of people that like do whiskey reviews on YouTube and stuff like that, and they come up with the craziest freaking like, oh yeah, this tastes like butter of pancakes and like honey and like what is it, like maple glazed banana pancake. Like no, it doesn't taste like that. It's like you're making like that's too much.
Tastes like a Jack Johnson song.
Yeah, like calm down, dude. It's like I smell like buttered apple that has been touched by the bird of like, you know. But I think a good step that opened because I tasted things prior to, I think, to being able to detect these things, like just like you. But I think just tasting things, eventually those things start coming to you. Yeah. The more you taste, the more spirits you taste, and the more you relate them to the food you eat. You start because you know we always give crap to people that have the palate of a 5-year-old, like all they know is chicken nuggets. And then I've even shown people videos of like the exotic things that we like to eat, because we like to eat exotic things, like very crazy stuff, and they're like, oh my god, like that looks like straight trash from the whatever, from the septic whatever, blah blah blah. And like, dude, well, it's you're just showing that you have a palate of a 5-year-old instead of but that you gotta get over that, you know. You gotta taste things.
Tasting things that's it. One thing I would recommend people try too is, and you're gonna look weird. You're gonna look really weird, but it's insanely helpful. At least I used it during my journey. Was next time you're at the grocery store, smell everything in the fritters. Like pick up every fruit, pick up every spice you can, every vegetable, and just take like a big sniff. Even if you're not buying it, just try to smell everything. It will,
you can even approach somebody and be like, get behind them and be like, how weird would that be?
This tastes like that Samantha person I met at the grocery store.
Like,
hi, can I
smell you?
It's for science, I swear.
Science. I believe in science.
Yeah. So overall, how do you feel between the two? Like,
so they're very different, even though they both have the same character of Herradura. Like you can taste Herradura written all over it, but they're very different. I would say, I like higher proof stuff. That's because I like to taste things. Once again, I'm gonna say it again. I'm not a proof queen, but but I do enjoy. Like I think that more you drink things, the higher proof makes you like. It's like shows you more flavors. You start craving more flavors and more intensity. Yeah. And I think that's what happened to me.
Totally.
But I think I like this one a lot more. Not that I don't like this one, but I think I enjoy this one better because I can taste that pepper and the pepper spectrum that I was telling you about.
Huge, yeah.
Huge.
This has one of the best smells in the world to me. It's like one of my favorite things. I wish I could bottle this into a cologne.
That would be fun.
I love that smell so much.
And I don't think this one is as heavy on the vanilla as this one.
Yeah.
This one focuses more on the vegetable notes and the mineral notes and the pepper, which I actually like a lot like that.
Yeah, you know, that's to bring that home, and on that point is when you drink Herradura Silver here in the United States, it's in the square bottle with the blue label on it. That's also available in Mexico, but there's a huge difference between that and this. And the two differences between this and the silver tequila we see from Herradura here in the United States is that the one here in the United States has been in a barrel. So it touches a barrel for 45 days. You can't really see, the color is a slight hay color. It's not to affect flavor. It's just sort of that filtration effect a barrel has. Yeah. But that will change the profile, right? So this has not touched a barrel, and it's also at 46% versus 40%. So those two key differences are what make this different from the silver we think of from Herradura here in the United States.
I see.
That's the big two differences, and that's what I just love this so much.
Of course, I love it. It's how you know how long have you had this bottle?
I picked it up when I was at the distillery in a couple months ago. So it's been here a couple.
It has a very old labeling, kind of like, it looks like.
You know what's funny? This is the new label. If you go there, you'll still see the bottles with the old label, and it's totally different than this.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
It just gives me the feel of like an old bottle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty cool. Shall we jump to the Cascawin?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is, I haven't tried it. Tahona.
Yeah. So
I think we've seen this whenever we've been at Chivos. I think we've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Cascawin. Well, we won't see it anymore.
R.I.P. Chivos.
So sad.
So Cascawin is one of my favorite tequilas for sure. They are also in the lowlands, like Casa Herradura.
Yeah.
They're in a little town called El Arnau, I believe, and this is like only 15 minutes away.
Okay.
From Herradura. So they're very close by. Now, what I love about this Tahona Cascawin is this is
crazy how different.
It's the funkiest tequila out there for me. Like, this is a tequila that's almost like a mezcal or raicilla, but it's produced in a tequila way.
Yeah, it smells like mezcal without the smokiness.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a hint of it, you know, and like but.
Well, I think you're 100% right. I don't think it's smokiness. I think it's like rancio, like it's like earth. It's like tire, earth, rubber.
Yes,
sort of
and some citrusy
stuff.
But
the smell is so crazy.
Oh, the rubber, dude! The rubber is like, I feel like in the best way possible.
It's like you pulled a tire out of the ground.
Exactly, and I know people probably would think, how the hell does these guys like that? But I mean, it's part of the not having a baby palate that I come back to.
It's a fun flavor. That's just the best way we're able to describe it. You know, you attach it to things you've smelled in your life. Like, I had one of the weirdest ones is like the first time I had this Cascawin, I literally immediately got transported to the state fair. I was in a parking lot. Someone was doing donuts. You could smell the rubber, the gravel on the ground. You could smell the one of those funnel cakes baking across the street, and that sweetness with the gravel and the rubber was like, bam, that's what this reminds me of.
I don't think I've ever smelled a spirit that has that much rubber.
Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water and then ready to dive in.
I don't think I've tried anything like this as rubberish. So citrusy. Remember I told you I feel like there's some citrus.
So citrusy.
Yeah. I was like telling you, I can get that is almost like a mezcal without the smokiness. There's so much citrus in it. Well, in the tire, of course. But as soon as you taste it, it's like almost like if I was drinking it with lime or something.
It's like, I know we just tasted two other ones, so that could be part of it, but there's almost no heat here.
There's almost no.
It's like a third or 2/3 of the way through it, I get a little heat, and then it disappears after that.
It's extremely soft on the palate and on the everything.
Now, I'm going to quiz you.
You're going to quiz me?
Yeah, I'm going to quiz you. So they have a regular Blanco, and then they have this Tahona Blanco. Do you know much about Tahona?
No. You every time that we hang out, I learn little things about tequila from you, but I mean, I'm not sure I'm that versed as you are about it.
Well, the Tahona is a really cool tool. So
yeah, I mean, yes, I know what the Tahona is.
Okay, so that's the difference right there.
Okay.
They're using a Tahona.
I just thought that you said that I
in the process.
Yeah, I know what the Tahona is, but I mean, you want to tell people how hard it is to find this kind of how can I say, traditional methods in the United States. Like, I have a friend, Patrick, the guy from Specs.
Yeah.
He has a list, obviously, like lists of all the tequilas that we receive. He says that only 8% are additive free of all the brands available in the United States.
That's remarkable.
It's insane.
8%.
8%. It's additive free. And I don't even want to get it into following such a traditional process, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So probably we're narrowing that down to what, like 3% maybe.
Yeah. I would be interested to know how many brands are using a Tahona still. There's a lot of debate on whether using a Tahona is more of just it's very cool. Is it more romantic? than it is actually influential in the flavor. But for me, right now, if you taste Cascaoin's regular Blanco, I don't know truly everything they do differently with this versus that. But if the only difference is a Tahona and this tastes different, well, then it must mean something. But I don't know that if that's actually the case.
Man, but the flavor profile it's just crazy how you go a few miles from a distillery to the next distillery, and it's just the flavor profile is like
a couple miles, and it's totally different.
Yep.
Yeah,
the land composition is no different. Probably the yeast, obviously. That's how important the yeast is. Like, you know what I mean, in the product.
It is
because the land is gonna be the same. I don't think there's many.
There won't be a huge difference in the land when they're that close. As these two brands are close together, there won't be that much of a difference. What they may be doing differently is how do they. I think they even cook the same. I know Casa Herradura uses like traditional stone clay ovens, and which is a very good thing. And I know that Cascaoin does too, but I don't know like what size, height, width, and what type of stone is it.
Cooking time, how like the process. Like there's so many things that like that's the beauty of tasting spirit. That such little things, like I don't know, the most minimal thing is gonna impact the flavor.
It is. It's crazy. Like the Herradura, 26 hours in an oven, and then you leave the agaves in the oven to rest for 9 hours when they're off. Mm-hmm. But then also that first like couple hours, the juices that come out of the plant, you actually open these like little grates on the ground of the oven, and you run that off. Because that's like a lot of bitterness. Yeah. And that's something not a lot of brands do, and that will change flavor, right? Also, like, so I imagine Cascaoin's doing their own
accuracy to just running it just enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that perfect amount.
Just like the guys, the jimadores that you told me how they cut like with such precision. Yeah. That because it has to be perfect.
It's gotta be.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you cut into the plant and you could ruin it. If you leave too much of the leaf on the plant, it gets really bitter. Yeah, it gets really bitter.
Wow. And this is beautiful.
Man, these are 3 incredible tequilas.
No, this has been a beautiful trip to Mexico for me. Yeah. And I'm in love with this. We're going to have to go drink more of this Cascaoin.
Yeah, we are. We will.
But, I think we extended ourselves a little bit on this video.
Oh, yes.
Man, you want to show them
I'll show them the bottle really quick.
Of the Alambique.
The Directo de Alambique.
Which I've never tried one. I haven't tried it.
Yeah, we're going to take some. So what this is a really cool expression from Herradura. You will find bottles in the United States, but it's no longer in production. So if you find a bottle, please grab it.
So,
it's
story. Sorry to interrupt
do it.
So I was trying to do a project, and I told Will, and you guys both looked at me like, oh, he's just being like a brat. Like, no, dude, you know how I am. There's a reason specifically why
you're a perfectionist.
Yes, and there's reasons. And I was like, well, I'm doing this old fashioned that's gonna be barreled, but I want to extract certain amount from. And you're like, well, but it's the same, blah 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 blah. Like, no, it's not the same because if I put in an 80 proof, it's not gonna extract the same amount of the barrel. And then you guys, that's it.
Are you done? Are you done?
And the brand. So, bottom line, I had one of my. Sorry.
That's okay, you can leave it.
It's on your side. So I had some of the people that get spirits from me for cocktails and stuff, the very specific stuff that I sometimes need. And I told them, hey, I know there's this Tequila Directo de Alambique that is no longer in production, but there might be a few bottles in this. Well, these people went and scouted them. There were 2 bottles left in the city, and I got one of them.
Ooh, baby. So, I'm
finally gonna try it because I haven't
give this just a little. This one is a 2015 bottling. That's what's cool about this one too. Is Herradura will tell you the bottling year.
I think the one that I was able to get was 2019.
2019. Okay. Yeah, and this is 55%. So this is 110 proof. Now, what that means is it's directly off the still. So at this distillery, when they pull their juice off the still after their second distillation, the final distillation, it comes off at 110 proof. And normally you would use distilled water to bring the proof down to where you want it. This is straight off the still, no messing around, is what it is. It'll kick your butt, but it is delicious.
Dude, it's delicious. I felt it right away. Like, this is the first time that a tequila I feel that, I don't mind it. I've drank bourbons that are like 60-something%. Yeah. But this is like, woo!
It's gorgeous. A lot of bell pepper, a lot of vegetal notes. I think it's a slightly more I don't want to use the word complex, but it's very similar to the Blanco Blanco.
Yes, it's very similar.
Blanco
even though,
Original.
for some reason, it doesn't give me as much pepper as this one.
More pepper, okay.
This one gives me more pepper.
Yeah. And this one, what's this give you? More
more of the sweetness of the agave.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard when you're on the fourth one because, you know, our palates have been...
exposed already?
Yeah, exposed, which is a good thing because that means you want to taste the highest proof last.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's true, but that's how I like to.
Yeah, because, I mean, you kind of burn your palate a little bit. You burn...
Yeah, you work your way up to that higher proof. So I see that sweetness for sure. Yeah, it's really cool. So if you see a bottle, definitely grab one.
You know, this being as it is, it's so delicious because it's like honey, kind of like very sweet. And by saying sweet, I'm not saying that you're gonna, you know, for people that think it's gonna be sweet. No, it's not sweet. It's just like the sweetness of the fruitiness of the piña of the agave.
Yes, yeah. It's not sweetness like you get from like a cinnamon whiskey or just like some
or like
honey whiskey additive thing. It's a different kind of sweetness.
It's a different kind of sweetness. It's like something you taste.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the fruity parts of the piña of the agave. So good. Yeah, it's so good. But anyway, I think we're running out of time, guys, because we've extended ourselves too much. But thank you for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave some comments. If you want to see something specific, let us know. We're going to try to cover as much as we can. I know we were gone, but we're going to start hitting you with a lot of videos now. We're back, baby. We're back, baby.
Hey, salud.
Salud. Thank you guys for watching, and drink tequila.